Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. So we delve into this beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam where Brahma, who's the engineer of the universe, he's offering heartfelt prayers to Vishnu. And what's really fascinating is Brahma has 4 heads. Okay, genius. And he can be so humble. What to speak of one overthinking head here? We have one head overthinking all the time. Folks, we got no excuse here. So here Brahma is expressing utmost humility here. So we're going to jump into this verse in detail. So the philosophical meaning of this verse and how that applies in our life. When we look at different connecting verses of this, with a tinge of little bit of salt, little humor, and we will also explore some Vaishnava bhajans, where Purandaradasa and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they explain these principles from this verse. So the focus theme of today will be humility in prayer, devotee's position, and the nature of spiritual realization. So all this thing, how it's very relevant to African culture context and also Indian culture and any traditional cultures in the world, it has a very strong connection here. So the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. So here, Lord Brahma, he has just had the darshan of Vishnu after performing long austerities. So this shows us one very important detail, that Brahma is about to become the super empowered living entity in the universe. But even that person, he's praying for guidance and blessings. And in my own life, I have seen every time I'm actually in the mood of prayer, whatever activity it is, maybe giving a class, maybe it is doing deity worship, maybe it is connecting with somebody. Whenever I do it with that mood of I'm seeking blessings, I'm actually insignificant. But my significance is connected to my guru and Krishna, everything goes much smoother. And the minute that the pride comes in the word pride is there, I can, oh my God, what to speak of the results. So here we see Brahma's prayers for creative energy. So let's take a moment to appreciate this prayer. Brahma, the most powerful living entity created, he bows his head and he's saying, there's no one above you. Your form is the highest. And he's saying, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in what? I'm stuck in pride over my body, over my senses. And he's appreciating the Lord that you're beyond all this material things. So that's like Krishna's, he's unlimited in his forms. Can you imagine the CEO of the universe? He's admitting that he's proud and that he needs to surrender. So if Brahma can come off his high seat to bow down to Krishna, what to speak of us, we should too. So now, philosophical points in relation to this. I have some experience with African culture, and I was just thinking how this whole connection to the divine, connection to glorifying the form of the Lord, as Krishna is a supreme, even in Christianity, God as the supreme, topmost reality. So Brahma is saying, I do not see anything superior to this. So this is a cultural thing everywhere in the world. Any religious, spiritual culture approves the point that Krishna or God is the supreme power. So this reminds also Bhagavad Gita verse where Krishna is saying that there is no truth superior to me. So Krishna, he told Arjuna that everything rests upon him just like pearls on a thread. I just love that analogy because here Brahma is also realizing that everything rests on the Lord, just like the pearl rests on the string. So what is this form of the Lord he's talking about? He's calling it Ananda Matram. This form of the Lord is full of bliss, and it implies that eternal, full of knowledge, Satchit Ananda. So Krishna's form is not material. It's not like our experience. It's completely spiritual. It's blissful. The verse of Brahma Samhita just really opens that lotus of Krishna's qualities here. The same lotus, just the tulasi, which is mixed with the Ginjalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu. The tulasi that's offered at the lotus feet of Krishna and mixed with the chandan and saffron, just the smell, the fragrance of that made the 4 Kumaras who are impersonalists into devotee. So this is the potency of Krishna's physical form and his beauty. So the crucial Vedic understanding in this case is Krishna is a person. He's a person, not just some abstract force. And Brahma is literally seeing that person face to face. It's not anymore just in a deity form. It's not just anymore in his meditation. He's literally seeing Krishna face to face. So that contrasts with the impersonal Brahman effulgence. So three, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdyate. So there are three forms. One level of understanding Krishna is he's everywhere, everywhere. The second level of understanding, he's in the heart of every living entity. The third level of understanding, that he has the transcendental body, is the Bhagavan. So the glow of God's presence is experienced by Brahma here. And so Brahman is like the sunshine, but Krishna's form itself is the sun. So the source of light is Krishna's personal form, Bhagavan. Then here in Bhagavatam, in other places in Srimad Bhagavatam, also it confirms the hierarchy of these realizations, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here Bhagavan form is the complete realization. Yajnanam advayam, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Shabdyate. This is the first canto, second chapter, verse number 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam, where wise declare that the truth, absolute truth, is one, and it's understood in three phases. So it's like Achintya Beda Abheda Tattva. He is one. We do believe in one God. How is that called? Polymorphic monotheism. So we do believe in monotheism, that God is one, but we believe that unlike Christianity in Vedic culture, God is one. Krishna is God. But it's polymorphic, means Krishna takes different forms. So although one God, but he takes different forms. So it's monotheism, but it's polymorphic monotheism. So it really gives a flavor. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is so rich. And this knocks down the misconception. Some people say God doesn't have a form, or that they say that the formless aspect of God is the highest. So this is shattered here in this verse. And Brahma himself, he composed Brahma Samhita after he was able to get in touch with Krishna's personal leelas. So he glorifies Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Mananta Rupam. So the Lord is one without the second, infallible. He has no beginning, he has no end, and he's expanding himself into endless. So even though he has endless forms and incarnations, still he's youthful Shama Sundara, Nrishingavamana, Shri Madhusudana Shama. So he still remains one and the same, full of youth, full of energy, full of naughtiness. He is the boss. He has the ocean of milk, ocean of yogurt. There's no lack of butter in the spiritual world. But he still comes down to this material world. Why? The Acharyas explain. He comes to steal the butter in our hearts. He churns us. He does anartha nivritti with our emotions and our priorities, and then he churns the butter and he takes that butter. So there's no deterioration of his potency in when he's doing this. So first lesson, as a person, he cares about you. He loves you. He's listening to you. One devotee proper disciple told me, Krishna is my secretary. He reminds me. I tell him, Krishna, please remind me 3 o'clock I have an appointment. So different devotees have different rasas, different relationships with Krishna. Some see him as a son in the Vatsalya mood. Some see him as a best friend in the Sakya mood. Krishna, he's my friend. I tell him everything. Krishna knows everything. I don't hide anything from him, just like you don't hide from a best friend. Some people see Krishna as a husband. Some people see Krishna as a father. So there's all these different rasas. So the point here is to go beyond that impersonal Brahman and to relate to Krishna face to face. Doesn't matter in what way. You can see him as a father also, son also, child. You can see him as a lover also. You can see any. So just one related example I'll give you is the impersonal Brahman is like appreciating the sunlight coming inside your house. It's warm, it's nice, it's cozy, yes, God is there, up there, very nice. But meeting sun God, meeting that power, the power personified who produces that sunlight is a completely different thing. So it's far more thrilling experience, just to say the least. Similarly, Krishna's energy is good, but Krishna himself, that's the real deal. That's this basic concept here. Then the second thing that really opens up this beautiful lotus verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is the humility of Brahma. He's taking a very humble position here, vulnerability. In the 12 steps, there is a 4th step, which is like taking a fearless personal moral inventory. It means like, essentially, Brahma is saying, I am feeling proud of my own material body and senses. So I take shelter of you. Bhutendriyatmaka. So the mada, he says, my pride. It's arising from what? Bhuta Indriya. Bhuta is our Bhuta is the bodies, material elements, and Indriya is the senses. So I'm surrendering, my pride. It's like, also in the 12 steps, there's a 7th step, which is like, Krishna, I give you both good and bad. So this is like a point. There may be some things I'm proud of myself, maybe my skills, maybe my intelligence, maybe my beauty, maybe my wealth, whatever it is, my connections. So that may bring me some pride, but that's also not beneficial for my spiritual life. So I give that also to Krishna. Krishna, I don't want to keep guilt and shame, nor do I want to keep pride. So we give it Krishna, just like Brahma is doing here. Brahma is our father in our sampradaya. He is the head of the sampradaya. We are Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya. So we follow Brahmaji. And what is Brahmaji doing? He's being humble. He's being vulnerable. So Brahma is extraordinarily powerful being. He's not an ordinary being. He literally has the job of creating the planetary systems here. And he lives for billions of years. And he has all the Vedic knowledge. So it's easy to imagine that somebody with such kind of a position has a really big fat ego. But we are seeing that even people, a guard in a mall, sometimes become so puffed up due to that identification. I am the guard and I have the power and I'm going to stop you. I won't let you go there. The madha, pride, the madness. So sometimes I may identify myself with my body, with my abilities, and then I put away the fact that Krishna is the boss, Krishna is the controller. And then I may not be completely grounded, I may not be self-aware. And then instead of going and approaching Krishna, approaching Nrsimhadev, approaching our favorite deities and saying, Krishna, I have no qualification in front of all the demigods and all the universes and all these great personalities who sing for Krishna, who do perfect services to Krishna. What am I? This body, oh my dear Krishna, I have got this material body which is contaminated. So therefore I cannot touch your form. I cannot even physically see you face to face. But you are so merciful. Just by even remembering to want to serve you, my desire to serve you, you fulfill that desire by giving me opportunities to serve you. My dear Lord, I am so small. I'm so flawed. You are everything to me. Okay, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Krishna, I belong to you, Krishna. You say that I am yours in the Gita. Krishna, you are mine. Nobody else is mine. Nobody in this world is mine. My parents, children, colleagues, neighbors, best friends, nobody is mine. Only Krishna is mine. So this understanding of Krishna, you are my everything. And Krishna, you are mine and I am yours. So that is the true surrender. So now the attitude of Brahma is teaching us that humility in prayer. That Krishna, I am nothing without you. He approaches the Lord bowing down, right? In the Western world, bowing down to somebody, bowing down to a plant, wearing bed sheets or and bowing to the plants and paying obeisance. It's a big deal. Maybe in African cultures and Indian culture, we grew up paying obeisances and we grew up being in that respectful manner. But let me tell you one thing. What I have seen is a lot of Western devotees who come from cultures where you don't bow down to plants or you don't bow down to people, you don't bow down in front of statues or whatever. Sometimes I've seen that those Western devotees who are paying obeisances, putting their head down, they are more aware of the fact that I am so insignificant and I am actually paying obeisance. It's a big deal for them. But whereas maybe in some of the traditional cultures, we may take it for granted. So the point is, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribit, Edamana Madram Puman, Naivarhatya Abidatum Vai, Akinchana Gocharam. So Krishna, your lordship is approachable only by those who are materially exhausted and they are exhausted of being puffed up, the puffed upness, I call it. So one was proud of, I'm born in such a good family, I am so opulent, I am so learned, I am so pretty. We cannot call out to the Lord in a feeling, the true, genuine feeling. And then Krishna is he's akinchana. So he only becomes pleased by those who are nothing material to claim. So then what does it mean? If I think I am something great on a material level, then it becomes very difficult for me. It's like a barrier. So that's why probably in Western cultures, people are much more like, no, I don't surrender to people easily. And Srila Prabhupada, that's why it's a miracle. He made the hippies into happies. When he went to the West, he was, old man and his English was not like, perfection or anything. So he definitely was very vulnerable. Physically vulnerable, culturally also, Western culture, people don't easily surrender. People are just completely into freedom and everything. And to those people who are addicted to marijuana, and that's to say the least, many other drugs and all kinds of habits, Srila Prabhupada was able to fill their hearts, which was earlier filled with pride, he filled it with love and respect and devotion. So that's a miracle. So when people would ask Prabhupada, show me a miracle, and Prabhupada would show his Western devotees and say, this is the miracle. These people were on the streets taking drugs, and now they're following regulated principles and chanting Hare Krishna. And then, our movement grew because of these American devotees that Srila Prabhupada filled their hearts with. So the point is this: pride fills our heart with ourselves, self-will, and it does not leave room for Krishna's will. So there's an African proverb, I think, if you're filled with pride, then you have no room for wisdom. So in spiritual life also, that wisdom is about recognizing my true position. I'm actually a tiny servant of Krishna. Prabhupada would say, I'm a tiny Krishna. It's like a spark of Krishna is also Krishna. It's small Krishna. Small Krishnas. So Brahma's position is very instructive. He literally had the highest birth, born directly from Vishnu's navel. Immense wealth. The whole universe is his department. Knowledge, he is Vedas personified. He knows everything. And he's sort of very mystical beauty also, right? He has 4 heads and whatnot. Even some of the Rakshasas became very attracted to Brahma when he saw, because Brahma was very beautiful. Usually we see Brahma with the old beard and all that, but that's not always like that. He is pretty and good looking. So the point is this: he's saying these things made me proud. But in reality, Krishna, you are everything and I'm nothing without your grace. So this mood of daityam, that he cultivates, not the humility that he goes into shame and guilt, but the humility that makes him work for Krishna. Not the humility that, oh, I'm not good enough. If I sing, everybody will know how bad I sing. If I give class, everybody will know my limitation. No, in the mood of, I want to be of service. Because I am nothing unless I serve the Lord. So the humility in spiritual life is not, again, beating ourselves up. It's not about having low self-worth or low self-esteem, but it's about that honest admitting that I'm powerless without the mercy of the Lord. I'm completely dependent on the Lord. And Brahma is not thinking, I am garbage. He's thinking, I'm small, I'm yours. So this is very important distinction here. Real humility is to realize Krishna is great, I'm tiny, he cares for me, so my job is to serve him. So not that I should serve my ego, but I should serve Krishna's Rishikesha, Rishya. So we have to serve the senses of Krishna, Rishikesha. So sometimes we may pretend to be humble. There's an old joke that a man was awarded a medal for being the most humble, but the moment he accepted it and he wore it proudly, they had to take it away. True humility is about the delicate internal attitude. The moment I think that I'm humble, gone. There's no humility anymore. So it's very, very subtle. And pride immediately creeps back in any time you're thinking I'm rich. It's a curve, it's like a very curvy path. So it's practical, and every day we can actually see. Okay, so what Brahma is doing here is he's keeping his ego at the door. So do we sometimes get proud with our little creations, whatever it may be? Maybe I cooked such a fantastic feast. Maybe I lead such a good kirtan. Or maybe I have a PhD or Bhakti Vedanta. Or I developed such a good business. So we memorize verses, whatever it is. Then there's the attitude that aham mameti, I am better. Me and mine. So if we wear Brahma's shoes here, then imagine the swelling ego having all the possessions that he has. So again, nothing is ours. The wealth is not ours. Fame is not ours. Everything can be taken away like that. Krishna is always ours. So the only path is to understand Krishna. How? Through devotional service. That's what he's saying. Also, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyed yasmad brahma saukyam tvanandam. So there has to be some austerity. Different people, different things can mean austerity. No amount of gymnastics, intellectual gymnastics, no amount of material opulence can make God or force God to reveal himself. I cannot say, I'm going to figure out Krishna today. Brahma with 4 heads couldn't figure out. What am I going to figure out? So he only reveals himself through love and devotion. So Krishna is only conquered by bhakti, not by learning a lot of Puranas and all kinds of Vedic literatures, not by visiting so many holy places, not by any of those things. He's only conquered by us becoming a servant of the servant of the servant of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Ranga ninna kondaduva mangalatmara, Sangha sukha vittukayo karuna sagara. So the real joy, the bliss that is explained in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which can be compared to the flute of Krishna, the mercy of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the association of devotees. So our hearts can only be melted when we are in the Sangha, like-minded, kindred spirits. That's when we form Bhakti Yoga in a way that we hear the Lord's flute in our hearts. So meditating, praying, offering pujas, all these things are steps. The key here is Shushusho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahatseveya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. So only by serving those devotees who are freed from all material contaminations, all material desires, by doing that, we develop a true, genuine desire. To do what? Vasudeva Kataruchi, to truly hear about Krishna, to truly glorify Krishna. It's not possible without the mercy of a devotee. That Brahma is that first devotee. We actually call him the Guru, right? He's our Parampara Guru. So Brahma will pass this knowledge to Narada, and Narada will pass it on to Vyasadeva, and so on, and then our gurus today. So we also must approach this in the same mood of devotion. Guru vina gulama naguvatanaka duryadanam kuti. It's very important. Last time also we spoke about Guru Tattva. It's very broad. It's not just my Guru, your Guru, not that. It's a broader concept. It's about the connection. It's about the chain which we can go back to Godhead by having that faith. So in practical terms, whatever we are learning, maybe whatever you're trying to learn, drumming maybe. Africans are so good with the music. Oh my God. So master drummer, if you want to become, we humbly approach the teacher who teaches us drum, or you want to be an artist, whatever skill that we're trying to pick up, or how we read something, we need to approach tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya. And that's the summary of this verse. Brain power fails. Bhakti power will always succeed. So Brahma was born from the lotus, and he looked around and he couldn't understand what is going on. And then he crawled down and up of the lotus, and he was like, what is going on? What's happening? Then he heard the word tapa, do austerity. So some austerity is needed for our purpose to be revealed. And this is very significant for us. We each will hit some limit, something we need to offer to Krishna to show to him that I want association of devotees. Once I want to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Madasevanam, Chanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam. By performing the 9 stages of devotional service, at least even one properly, then we attain that taste to perform devotion. So no amount of external efforts is enough. It's only mercy. So stop thinking I'll figure out everything perfectly before I'll serve Krishna. I'll get all the answers, then I'll do. Don't need to wait. Just prioritize hearing and chanting with the heart, not just for knowledge sake, but seeking association of devotees. Simple, right? Person of Krishna is the person, and humility is the door for empowerment. I surrender to Krishna. It doesn't expect perfection. No, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Better than what I was yesterday, not better than that person, this person. Better than what I was yesterday. So honesty, humility, and then Krishna empowers us beyond our capacity to go beyond and above our ego and be of service to Krishna. So we can pray like this today. My dear Krishna, my dear Shri Shri Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, I'm often caught in my own false ego, my foolishness, my doubts, my fears, but I truly want to serve you. Please accept me. Please guide me. Krishna, I'm yours and you're mine. Okay, so that is the section. I'll end with Bhaktivinoda Thakur's very deep prayer. It encapsulates the mood of the devotee. Taking these 3 principles from this verse, he speaks about what does it mean to give up that pride. Krishna Krishna boli daitava pache pache. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I am indeed poor and destitute, and please kindly give me just one thing, your mercy. That's the voice of humility, begging at Krishna's door, because Krishna is waiting at the door for me to open the door of my heart. By the way, Krishna can also sneak in even if the door is closed and hard. He knows how to do it. But the good news is Krishna never keeps the door closed for too long. So all we need to do is just knock on Krishna's door. That's it. So thank you very much for your attention. If you have any comments or questions, now is a good time.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Shri Devi. Devotees, we thank you all for being here as always. Krishna Prabhu, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yes.
No change of Vedas, Kalpa, millennium. The influence of time is conspicuous, but it's absent. So my question is, I've been thinking about this, the influence of time. If there's no time in the Vaikuntha planets, how does God or Brahma calculate kalpas or the yugas, the 4 yugas? We can say millennium after millennium I appear. How do they calculate to know when millennium starts for a new incarnation of God? When it says here, time is conspicuous.
Yes, because Brahma is not there in Vaikuntha calculating the millenniums there. Millennium is for us. It's for the real world. It's a material universe.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
What did you say? I was expecting a very long, detailed explanation. What did you say? I was relaxing to hear the gist.
Yeah. So in the spiritual world, the concept of time is very different than what we experience here.
Yeah.
In the spiritual world, there is no concept of the time. Like we are exposed, so you have to do this. It's not exactly like that. So for Brahma, the calculation does not work in the spiritual world. The calculation is necessary only calculating the material universes, which he himself created. So it is a computer programmer who created a program. It's nothing for him to figure out the root of whatever, whatever is the calculation.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you. Long time no see. Are you still in Mayapur?
Yes, in my.
All right. Thank you. My regards to Prabhu.
Very well. Yes.
Anyone else with questions, comments, reflections, realizations? You may want to ask question.
Any challenges?
Well, Shri Radha, I have this question. These prayers that Lord Brahma is pouring out, glorifying Lord Krishna, is this at a point in time when Krishna had just been born out of the lotus navel of Lord Krishna?
Oh, you mean Brahma?
Or Brahma born. Or he went to sleep, he woke up, and this is what he's saying, seeing and talking about. I'm asking this question because if Lord Brahma had just been born into this universe, that means that there was no clue of any other soul.
Any other what? Source?
Any other soul. Yes, because he is now going to populate the universe. So he was there alone by himself. But now from the way he's speaking as if there are beings already there, and he's seen so many demigods, he's seen so many beings, and none is compared to Krishna. And so I'm wondering, it says, oh my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge in your impersonal Brahma. So Brahma is already aware that there are others other than himself. But to my little understanding, this may not be possible if that is just his first time appearing in the universe and had no clue as to what to do. So that's why I'm asking, is this from his wake up when he went to sleep, his wakefulness, or from birth?
I mean, I cannot be 100% certain. Reading the chapter, it looks like it's the beginning. And again, when we are born as babies, we cannot walk and talk. We're completely dependent on the mother. Brahma's situation is we need to go to school and learn the A, B, C, lifetime after lifetime, right? Again and again. Brahma is a different creature. He doesn't have to. So he is given with the knowledge. It's already, he's becoming empowered. The knowledge, creative knowledge is given. So it's not that he has to go to school to learn that there are these demigods. And he gets the knowledge like that. Like, how does a baby know that it needs to suck on the mother's milk? How does it know? Because there are certain instinctive things. So similarly, what is instinctive for a baby? Like to cry or to scream or to say that, mama. Those are instinctive things. So for Brahma, it is on that level of awareness, super aware being. So my understanding is not that he's waking up from a sleep. It seems more like he's praying for the creative energy. He's trying to figure it out, and then he's experiencing his pride. He's experiencing the spirit in personal form of Krishna. And all the knowledge is being given to him, just like a small baby develops, starts walking, and it starts crawling, it starts taking things, do the samskara. There are different, we keep money, and we keep gold, and we keep books, and then the baby chooses one thing. So it's not that the baby knows in the sense of educated, but there's an instinct. For Brahma, the level of instinct seems to be that he already is aware of all these things. That seems to be the case in the chapter 9, Brahma's prayers, creative energy.
Well, thank you. But there seems to be, well, I'm trying to be a devotee, so I tend to accept whatever the scriptures say. But there are so many things said in the scriptures that do not make sense to the human being, in the sense that I'm sleeping in a house, I'm sleeping in a building. I go to sleep at night. I wake up in the morning, the house is still there. But that is not the case with Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is having everything in the universe. He goes to sleep and everything disappears. So when he wakes up from sleep, does he have to go into the creative mood and create everything as day one when he was born, like he's praying now for this creative empowerment and intelligence? And if that is the case, of course, I'm not Lord Brahma, but I pity Lord Brahma, because every time you go to sleep, you wake up, you have this tedious job of creating everything and everybody again. I don't know, is that how it works?
Yes, at the same time, the perspective with which we have experience of our sensual understanding of, I have to go back. I mean, we do that all the time. Every lifetime we have to, that mama ABC, that mama ABC. How many times of that? How many? Yesukadu 84 laksha jeeva rashi annadati bandai sharira. 84 lakh species have been doing the dada mama dada. And on a practical level also, we look at the laws of nature. Every morning when I wake up, do I have to take bath every day? I have to brush my teeth every day. I brushed my teeth yesterday. I ate yesterday. So every morning when we wake up, the karmas of the body, taking care of the body, taking care of the whatever it is, hair, taking care of the altar, cleaning the altar, preparing the garlands, offering flowers. Well, every day, is it the same thing? You don't have to keep doing it again and again, because that is the sadhana, right? Process of sadhana. Similarly for Brahma, it is also similar. Maybe the dogs think, why this guy is taking bath every day? I mean, the dog doesn't even think, just like the dog's ability to think about a human being's lifestyle, our ability to understand what Brahma has to do. Yeah, so it seems it's such a good question. As you say, pity for Brahma, as an ant may feel pity for us that we have to wake up and do our chanting every day. But it's a great opportunity. Manushyanam Sahasreshu, so many lifetimes. Finally, I've got to chant the holy names. So I'm chanting every day. I'm doing it out of joy. So I'm joyfully performing. Brahma is joyfully doing this service. Seems to be the case. So the answer is yes. Maybe you want to little bit change the perspective to science fiction 4.0 to see the updated version of what Brahma sees, experiences, what is his motive create. I think that changes the perspective of, does he have to do it again and again? And his ability is so much greater, right? My ability take my bath and do my altar service and that's my ability. But Brahma's ability is recreate the whole universe.
So, well, thank you for the analogy, because my waking up in the morning, washing my face, brushing my teeth, dressing my bed, as I do every morning, is Lord Brahma's creating. So Lord Brahma creating all the 11 entities. That is his daily chores. Well, like I said, Lord Brahma, Hare Krishna. Thank you. And Bhakta Hassan, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Mother. Please kindly accept my respectful obeisances. All glory to Guru, all glory to the Prabhupada, and all glory to you, and all glory to the wonderful Assembly devotees. Thank you for the wonderful class, and I'm happy to see you again. But I have two questions. So the first one is, during the class, you do mention that even in some cultures and some faiths, you don't allow you to bow to anybody or any statue. And this comes my question. In Islam, it is prohibited to bow to anybody, a spiritual master or anyone, imam or anybody. Even God, even the prophet, you don't have to bow down to him. I come to our Krishna consciousness. Even if we see a Vaishnava, you have to bow down to him, have to pay obeisances. And we have to pay obeisances to Krishna. And my question is that, for instance, if we look at the Krishna, the blue boy, we bow down to Krishna, and it is said that it takes somebody who is very, very fortunate and intelligent to accept the blue boy as God. Because if you look at his lila, his pastimes, it said he hold the tail of a cow and he'll be pulling around with the mug, with the feces, the urine and everything. So if you tell somebody, especially somebody who is a Muslim, to say, this is God, you say, are you crazy? How can you disrespect God like this? So it takes, like us, it takes fortunate for us to accept that Krishna is God. And even if you look at Krishna, the little Krishna, sometimes you become so emotional and pray to him. And you feel this love and this passion in your heart, even you feel you are not qualified to even look at him. But in the other faith, it's like, it's blasphemy, it's abomination. So my question is that, do we have to consider ourselves that we are more intelligent than them, or we are more fortunate than them? Because in Islam, this is what they know, that you don't have to, if they raise God so high, Krishna so high, that you can't even you can't even think of saying that God will be like this, come to this material world and play with his friends and even eat dirt. And sometimes his friends will put food in his mouth, you know. So do we consider ourselves that we are more intelligent and fortunate, and they are not? They are ignorant or not fortunate or something? Can you help me to understand that, Hare Krishna?
Thank you, Prabhu, for this question. So there are three levels of answer here. Number one, janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvata. So to understand Krishna's janma, birth, karma, actions, activities, they are very divine. It's very divine. It's very difficult to understand with the material mind. How can I see bacteria with this eyes? No, I need a microscope. How can I see some constellation or star in the sky? No, I need a telescope. So what to speak of Krishna's birth and activities and his leelas? It requires spiritual eyes. Premanjana Churita. Our eyes, we have to put the ointment of love in our eyes to be able to see Krishna's leelas and to understand his specially Shamsundar form. So that's the first thing. Janma karma chame divyam. To understand the fact that it's divine. What does divine mean? See, we were visiting a particular Muslim country, and it's like the center of all the Islamic trainings and everything. So we went to meet with one of the scholars, and this person was showing us certain literature in Islam where it actually speaks about the feminine goddess, the goddess feminine energy of God. And basically the whole description was Radharani, completely description. And in that, it is clearly described that you are not qualified to see the image of this divine feminine and everything. Even there is a drawing, there's a painting. I even have like a artwork of that divine feminine. We have the drawing. But in Islam, the real Islamic culture does not say that Allah doesn't have a form. It does not say that. That's like a very superficial understanding of Islam. But if you actually go to the real authentic sources of Islam, they very much believe God has a form. They just say you're not qualified to look at the form of the Lord. Why? Because Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So it's very important to discriminate between our own limitations of understanding certain world religions, including Islam, and we cannot, with our own senses and mind, for defects of this human life, we cannot try to determine and judge. Okay, that's very, very important. Second thing, superiority, inferiority. When we're actually talking about spirit, when we're actually talking about spiritual life, we are going beyond superior and inferior here. So there may be people, like I said, my husband, he's a Western man, and I know how the Western culture is. I know my family, my in-laws side of the family, they have difficulty in accepting authority, paying obeisances. They always question why. They're much more about individuality and autonomy and all that. They're not like Africans and Indians. African and Indians were similar, we are like easily we accept authority. Father said that, oh yeah, father is everything for us. We respect the father. Western people are not like that, they're just different. So the point is, I've seen that for certain people to take up to Krishna consciousness, to actually surrender, to actually do certain actions for us, it's okay, yeah, we do it, so what? But for them, they're truly doing it with the mood of humility. So that's what is superior. Me putting tilak and, as a woman, putting tilak and covering my head doesn't necessarily mean I am more humble and chaste, right? It's a matter of consciousness.
Yes.
It's a matter of who am I being chaste for? Am I being chaste for Krishna? Or am I just doing it because I want to be called a very nice person, I'm a good devotee, I'm a good wife. That's external superiority. But the internal superiority cannot be calculated by our external dressing or speaking or any of those, how much knowledge I may have, how many scriptures I know, how great class I may give, how good kirtan I can sing. It does not depend on it. So when we're talking about superiority, yes, of course, if you're accepting God without doubts and you're completely surrendered to God, it is a superior thing. But it's not just based on, oh, no, Krishna is like this, he's a blue boy. That's itself is not enough. There needs to be one step further about, okay, do you hand over your life to that blue boy? Okay, you may not know that it's a blue boy. I have been in my work, in my service, and in my own personal recovery from anarthas, I've been in groups where they are not devotees. My God, the transformation these people have had. They don't know that Krishna is a blue boy. They don't know that his name is Shama Sundara. But the way they give their lives to Krishna, the way they give life to God, the God of their own understanding. See, this is Kali Yuga. That's my third point now. That's how come with more energy now. This is Kali Yuga. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's age. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not come just for ISKCON people. It's not copyright. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's a Yuga avatar. He came to change the whole world. Whether or not we are taking advantage, people are becoming vegetarians. People are becoming yogis. People are going into chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's not anymore our domain. It's not only Hare Krishna. People who are chanting Hare Krishna. There are so many yogis chanting it. All that is because of the effect of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And we may not accept, we may be narrow-minded, thinking that, oh, we ISKCON, I have this guru, I am following Prabhupada, and therefore I'm great. We are stuck, we are inferior, being stuck in that mood, mentality. And there are other people, they're evolving spiritually. They're becoming part of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. They're chanting holy names with no offense, no politics, no propaganda, no brainwashing, no nonsense. They are making advancement, and sometimes we are stuck. We are stuck in a movement, all stupid concerns. We are blocking our spiritual progress and blocking the progress of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission from spreading. And so the point is, all we need to do is get out of the way. There's no question of inferior, superior when it comes to spirituality, because that is not determined through our actions. Through this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very, very clear. Devotional service has nothing to do with the external. Of course, we are fortunate, but more fortunate or less fortunate, it depends on our intention. It depends on our motivation. It depends on our surrender. So we cannot, it's not black and white when it comes to who is superior. The Pope, okay, he got elected recently and everything.
Yes.
He's superior to all the Christians in the world, but he eats meat. At the same time, okay, meat for Krishna may not be a problem. We may look at somebody and say, oh, why this devotee did this, why they did that. But for Krishna, it's like, okay, this person had this weakness. He doesn't, Krishna, What is it for Krishna? So the point is, this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma with 4 genius heads cannot figure out. I cannot judge that this person is like this. They are going to hell. This person is going to heaven. I know better. My guru is better. This is nonsense. This is, the excrement of the bull, what I'm trying to say. So this is nonsense thinking that we are superior, because we have to look in our hearts. How clean really is the heart for Krishna to come in there and sit there? Is it really clean? Or are we being judgmental and we are not getting the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? God comes as a devotee to spread this holy name everywhere. And I'm still stuck thinking my organization, there is this joke, but it's relevant in this context. So there was a person about to jump off a cliff and kill himself. And another person comes in and says, hey, wait, what are you doing? Why are you killing yourself? And so this person says, oh, I'm just so tired with my life. And the person says, oh, well, wait a minute. What religion are you? Are you Hindu, Muslim, Christian? He says, I'm Hindu. Oh my God, I'm also Hindu. Wait. Don't do this. Let's talk a little bit further. What's happening? And so he says, what kind of a Hindu are you? Are you Shiva worshipper, Krishna worshipper, Buddha worshipper, Ganesh worshipper, Ali worshipper? He says, I'm Krishna worshipper. Oh my God, me too. I'm also Krishna worshipper. This is great. And among the Krishna worshippers, which kind of Krishna worshipper are you? Are you into the Swami Narayan, or are you into the whatever, all kinds of other thing? Or are you Gaudiya Vaishnava? What? Says, oh, I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Oh, me too. I'm also Gaudiya Vaishnava. Great. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava, which mat do you belong to? Do you belong to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur line or Prabhupada? Oh, I'm a follower of Prabhupada. Oh, great. Me too. I'm also a follower of Prabhupada. See, we are really so similar. And then he says, oh, great. Are you into the fall of the Jiva, or the Jiva doesn't fall? No, I don't believe that the Jiva falls. I say, oh, you idiot. You deserve to die. Go die. By the way, that could be any other topic. Could be women. Should women give Bhagavatam classes? Should women become gurus? Oh, whatever topic you may take. So sometimes so much of similarity, or matching things could be there. One little thing and we become extremely judgmental. So the answer to your question is this example. Before we judge, are they superior? Are they inferior? Everything could be. Sometimes other religious groups may be more tolerant, more compassionate than how devotees sometimes are with each other. Sometimes we become harsh and we become judgmental. Read the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the bottleneck of Bhagavatam, I would say. You will find so many, like Sahadev Prabhu was saying, so many stories there that you wonder, like, excuse me, why did Vasishta do that? Oh my God, what? Vishwamitra, oh my God, how could he do this? And we will find stories. These are personalities that bring the whole Yadu dynasty into existence. So the point is, it goes beyond the inferior and superior. It goes very, very deep. It's not just the surface level. You have to dive deep inside to find gems. You can't find gems on the surface level, right? In the ocean, you have to go deep dive. So similarly, to actually understand what is the priority of Krishna, what is inferior, what is superior, who is a devotee, who is not a devotee. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says anybody who even hears Hare Krishna once, Krishna's name once, is a devotee. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Mother. My second question is that it is said that we wanted to come to this material world. It's our desire to come here. And now we are praying to Krishna and doing devotional service so that Krishna will take us back home, because we don't want to be here. Because if we see what is going on in this material world, everything, like you said, the Kari Yoga, everything is becoming worse and worse and worse. And me particularly, I pray to Krishna, I don't want to come back again. And still, we are struggling in our Christian consciousness, but this is our desire, to get better and go back home. So my question is that, is there going to be a day or in future where this material world will never going to exist again? We will all go back home to Krishna. Is there going to be a day like that? Because every day things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm just wondering that we are all going to be pure devotees or good devotees to go home, and we will never come back again, and this material world will never going to exist again. This is my childish question, Krishna.
See, we all belong to Krishna. At the end of devastation, we'll all enter Mahavishnu's body. We are all from there. We'll all go there, go to sleep. Then when the creation begins again, with all our samskaras, all our unfulfilled desires, we come back again. So the answer to your question is, so depending on our effort, our desire, Krishna gives us the free will to choose. See, again, when we want to come to this material world, that's the ticket we could afford. If we could have afforded the ticket to be in the heavenly planets, we would have taken that ticket. But the ticket, economy class is what I can afford. So I'm here. If I afford business class, I would be business class. Why would I be sitting in economy? So the tendency to want to enjoy is there. Even in heavenly planets, you think they're happy. There's jealousy. Oh, that Devata has a better airplane. Oh, look at his Apsara. He has a better Apsara than me. There's no end to that because that's also the material world. So then the other level of reality is that because Krishna is a kind father, he gives us this freedom. He says, depending on whatever it is that you desire, get it. He gives the faith. So the acharyas like Prahlad Maharaj and so many, thinking of the great devotees, Ranti Deva is also in the 9th canto. So much compassion, so much kindness. They come to save us. He come to Jeev Jago. Prabhupada did not have to go to America. He could have been peacefully in Vrindavan doing his bhajan. He did not have to. So why these devotees keep coming again and again? Because we are stuck. There's this trance verse. I love this verse. When Vyasadeva goes into trance, because he's dissatisfied with Mahabharata and the Vedas. So then he asks Narada Muni says, go into meditation and see. So when Vyasadeva goes into meditation, he sees Krishna. There's the jivas and there is Maya. The Maya is blocking the jivas from reaching Krishna. Lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. So when Vyasadeva saw this, he understood, oh my God, these living entities, they're suffering unnecessarily. All their sufferings are stupid. It's not even necessary. Not necessary. Literally in 1 minute, we can actually attain perfection. How? Bhakti Yoga Madhokshiji. Through performance of devotional service, like this verse of Bhagavatam is speaking of 393. So why we don't know this? Because anartho pasamam sakshat, we are completely drowned in our anarthas. And no need. Like a child of a billionaire roaming in the streets. Forget that the father is a millionaire. It's our condition. So my job, my little things, my petty things, I'm absorbed in all that. And I'm instead of lamenting, He Radhe Braja Devike Chalalite, where is Radharani? Where is Krishna? Instead of lamenting, where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? Where is Vrindavan Dham? I am lamenting, what about my bank balance? What about this person not respecting? Why this person is all these superfluous things? So in order for us to be guided on the right path, the final answer to your question, Janakto Vidvam Chakre Satvata Samhita. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is our answer, is our remedy, is our ticket back home. This Srimad Bhagavatam is the sun which has risen, which can bring us back to our senses. So we stop running after those desires, those entanglements, which will take us down to hell. Hell is not only a physical domain, it's the mentality, it's the consciousness of dissatisfaction, it's the Hiranyakashipu mentality. If things are out of my control, what will happen? That's hell. Krishna, hey Govinda, that is heaven. That is Vaikuntha. Whatever happens, may Krishna's will prevail. That is Vaikuntha. So the point is whether you'll go back to Godhead or not, it depends on whether I am right now giving my life to Krishna or am I trying to control it. It's that basic. So every moment that I am saying, may Krishna's will be done. That is devotional service, that's Brahmaji's mood. I'm doing this as a service. But every time I am trying to enjoy, I am trying to control, that's hell. So the heaven and hell is not just a concept of, oh, I go to heaven and then I can enjoy forever. That's usually the modern mentality. But when you go to Vaikuntha, what you do there? You serve. Unlike in heavens, my Apsara, my things, in Vaikuntha, everybody is so focused on Krishna, on Vishnu, not thinking of anything else, only thinking of service. So we cannot go there unless we develop that mentality here and now. If I'm today thinking, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling blocked, I'm feeling resentment, I'm feeling triggers, how will I go to the spiritual world? That's not a place for me. I will go where my emotions will be nurtured. Okay? So
Yes.
all I'm saying is the question is a broader thing than just
Yes.
go, will I not go? It's not like, oh, you see, I am here and in the spiritual world. I am here and this is material world. Not like a geographical thing. That's why Prabhupada called it International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The consciousness is not in me covering my head, or it's not in my how big my tilak is. The consciousness is not in how many verses I know. It's a matter of consciousness. It's a
Hare Krishna. My question is piggybacking of the previous one. So then, what's the difference between people pleasing and a genuine service attitude? Because externally it might look like you're serving, you're just trying to, but then, and a lot of like verses say you have to please, right? But like someone who has like a codependent kind of a behavior, for them, that's the source of validation to the point of like your detriment, you know? So yeah, I have difficulty understanding difference between people pleasing and service attitude. So could you please tell something about that?
Yes, I can relate to that. I have a PhD in that topic because I have double graduation in codependency. So there are two aspects to this. Okay? The two sides of the same coin. Codependency, as the word suggests, it's expecting something in return. Whereas selfless, causeless service, it's to please the Lord. Rishikesha Sevaya. So I want to just please the senses of Krishna. Those are two things, right? So both can, externally I'm cutting the same potato. One thing I may be cutting a potato for myself, another is I'm cutting the potato to offer to Krishna. So what's the difference? It's the same knife, same potato, but what is difference in prasad and bhoga? It's consciousness. It's the shift in the intention and motivation. So therefore, yes, it's not ideal to have these codependent things. Oh, if I do this thing, I will get appreciation. If I do this cooking, I want to hear from everybody that I do good. So there are sattva gun, rajas gun, tamas level of getting validation. In the tamas guna level, oh my God, nobody appreciated my class today. I'm never going to give class ever again. I'm going to destroy my possibilities of giving class ever again. That's tamas guna of reacting to my codependent needs not met. And then the rajasic, I mean, I hope everybody understands the word codependency. Codependency is something where we have some weakness, we have some need for recognition, validation. So we may not be doing it with 100% pure thing. It's like karma mishra bhakti, okay? Then the second level, rajasic level, is like, why I'm not getting validation? Let me ask, did you like my class? Did you like my kirtan? Did you like my cooking? Like kind of like pushing people to give us some comments or validations. That's rajas guna. And sattva guna is like, if it comes, grateful, thank you, Krishna. I really needed this validation. It really helps me to serve you in a more focused manner. Thank you. Seems the devotees really like the prasadam that I cooked. Please give me another opportunity so I can. That's sattva guna, right? Of course, transcendental level is people disrespect me. Amanina mana dena kirtaniya sadahari. People hate my cooking. People hate my kirtan. People really criticize me. I still do it for the pleasure of the Lord. That's like Shuddha Sattva, is beyond. Now, my teachers, some of the Shiksha gurus that I've had, taught me this. Whenever you feel like I'm unqualified, I cannot do the class, I cannot do the kirtan, I cannot do the cooking, whatever, there is that mood, there's always a tinge of codependency there also. Because what if I don't get the acceptance that I want, so I'll not do it. So the solution is always devotional service always purifies us. Always. Akama sarva kamova moksha kamo dharadi. Whether I am seeking the material desires, when I'm not seeking, when I'm doing purely, whether I'm doing mixed, doesn't matter as long as I somehow or another take shelter of Krishna. So eventually it will purify me. So if I feel unqualified to give a class, the way to get qualified is to give the class. Through that, I'll get qualified. So yes, the codependency is there. Yes, it's very important to be aware, but we still do it for as much as possible. And that action will purify us. Because, Krishna says it's not possible to have perfection. It's not possible. So it's not that I will not do anything because I have codependent needs. We work around that. Sometimes we have to make a truce with the demons, like the demigods had to do in the churning of the ocean. We have to deal with our internal part that wants, I want everybody to see how great I am part. And then there's the other part, no, let's serve selflessly because this is to serve Krishna. This is for my spiritual advancement. Both are there. Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad, both are inside here. So we work around and make a truce. And one day at a time, progress, not perfection. I hope that helps.
You talk about one can only understand Krishna through devotional service or by approaching a devotee of the Lord. So here comes my question. Oh, that devotee is always having the Lord in his heart, in his own heart, or the pure devotee or the devotee. So my question is, when one is approaching a devotee, thinking that that person is a devotee to practice Krishna consciousness, it turns out that that person is not a devotee. Then what happens? Because we have many experiences about that.
So
The person you approach to approach Krishna is not a devotee. It's a pretender of a devotee. What happens?
So the Bhagavatam, Ambrish Maharaj, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane Karau Harer Mandira Marjanadisu Shrutim Chakara Chita Satkatodaye. So Ambrish Maharaj is a good example. Durvasa came. Is Durvasa a devotee or not? So Kusha Prabhu, question for you. Was Ambrish Maharaj a devotee?
Yeah, it's a devotee.
Was Durvasa Muni a devotee?
Yes, devotee.
Very good. So both of them are devotees. What did Durvasa do? He came and he was late, and Ambrish Maharaj had to break the fast in time. Otherwise, it would be an offense, right? So what did Ambrish Maharaj do?
He didn't eat.
No, he didn't eat. But what did he do? He took a sip of water. He consulted the Brahmanas, and he took a little sip of water. And what did Durvasa do? He became super angry, right? Now, he's a great devotee, greatest devotee. Durvasa is super powerful. He knows everything, da, 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 da. But he becomes so upset, he just pulls out a hair and creates a demon. And he says, go kill Ambrish. Answer me. Is this a behavior of a devotee?
But Durvasa was not practicing Bhakti Yoga.
You just said he was a devotee.
He wasn't practicing pure devotional service.
But you said he was a devotee.
Yeah, he's a devotee because there are so many devotees. Even Shiva worshippers are all devotees, but they're not practicing pure devotional service.
Okay, very good. So, according to you, he was not the kind of devotee that you're looking for in the answer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened? The whole story happens and that demon gets killed by Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra comes, protects. So Sudarshan Chakra comes, protects Ambrish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni runs for his life. Sudarshan attacks him all over the three worlds, right? He goes running up and down everywhere. So the whole drama happens there. 1 year, Kusha Prabhu. 1 year. Sudarshan Chakra torments Durvasa with no intention of killing Durvasa. It's very clear. Sudarshana means auspicious vision of the Lord. Sudarshan never actually ever harms a devotee. And Durvasa was a devotee, may not be practicing 100% pure devotional service bhakti yoga, but he was a devotee. And he only scared him. He did not kill him. 1 year was running up, down, Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, Vaikunta. He went everywhere, but he did not come to Ambrish. Correct? Finally, when Vishnu says, sorry, I also can't help you. Go back to Ambrish because you offended him. He's the only person who can forgive you. So when Durvasa comes back to Ambrish, it's been 1 year, Kusha Prabhu, 1 year, Ambrish Maharaj did not eat anything for 1 year. And when he comes and begs him, Ambrish Maharaj starts to pray to Lord Vishnu. First he prays to Sudarshan, then he prays to Sudarshan is like, no, now let it go. I'm not letting. Then he says, I'll go to Vishnu. Then he prays to Vishnu. He is so sincere. The point is this, Kusha Prabhu. Ambrish Maharaj, in Dadarshane Drisho Tad Bhritya Gatra Sparshenga Sangamam Amcha Tatpada Saroja Saurabe Srimat Tulasya Nam Tadarpite. The mood of Ambrish Maharaj, he would always touch the bodies of the devotees, serve the devotees. It does not matter to him how pure that person is, how much offenses he commits, whether he causes a demon to come and try to kill him. He does not care. His attitude was, I am waiting for Ambrish Maharaj to come, Durvasa to come, and he didn't eat. And when Ambrish was approached by Durvasa asking forgiveness, Ambrish Maharaj had no resentment. He was like completely like, I'm so sorry, and he's asking forgiveness to Sudarshan. He's asking the Supreme Lord, please make this Sudarshan stop bothering Durvasa. And then, you know what happens? He pays obeisances to Durvasa. He pays respects to Durvasa. So your question should be reframed. How, in a modern context, how do I keep my side of the road clean? This is always a pure devotee's mood, or a devotee's mood for that matter. But the minute we start thinking, is he pure enough? No, but he did this and then he did that. And then the minute we do that, Govinda, it becomes like water inside a yagya. What happens instead of pouring ghee if I pour water? What happens, Kusha Prabhu?
Okay, this brings another question, because if Duvasamuni, we can bring it to our material world among devotees. If somebody offended me and came to me to apologize, and I refused to accept the apology, am I committing an offense by refusing your apology?
There's that story that happens with Maharaj Nimi. He gets cursed and then he curses back and both of them die. Shukracharya curses Nimi and then Nimi curses Shukracharya back. Both of them die and there's a whole drama, okay? And so many things like that. And then Shukracharya curses. Anyway, I don't want to get into all the stories, but there are so many of these stories. The point in all those stories, whether it is Maharaj Nimi, whether it is Shukracharya with Yayati, who is his own son-in-law, he doesn't think, he curses him, you become old, then he realizes, oh my God, my daughter is also going to suffer because my son-in-law is now old and crippled. What's going to happen? Oh, okay, somebody else can take your youth, and all the drama, okay? The point is, each and every case that we see, whether it was Durvasa, whether it was Vasishta making his mistakes, he curses the king without knowing, all the stories that happen, or whether it is Shukracharya, whether it's Maharaj Nimi, in all those cases, there's one common factor. What is that one common factor? One word, C word, consequences. So when we do not forgive, it's drinking poison expecting the other person to die. So forgiveness is not something we give for the other person. Forgiveness is a favor I do to myself. So in case of Ambrish Maharaj, he wasn't carrying the burden. He was not carrying triggers. He was not resentful. He did not have that. So,
because among devotees, the symbol of devotees, when we see conflicts, somebody may be holding grudges against you even after you beg for forgiveness due to what you did last month or last year or last 5 years. Is holding grudges, and the person is working against your own spiritual advancement because of unforgiving act you performed before. So how do we see this person as a devotee when the person is not forgiving the offender, the so-called offender, if at all one can offend anybody, because nobody is God?
I said, if Vasishta is a devotee, Vasishta, okay, he was the guru of Ramachandra. And if Durvasa is an incarnation of Shiva, if these great devotees could err, could make mistakes, could counter curse, could be offended and not easily forgive, we are humans, we're insignificant ants. So if we are having that trouble, Hare Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj's curse was so unfair for such a small thing of putting a snake death. So many curses like that.
But Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse.
Yeah.
But we devotees don't accept offense, and we don't forgive the offense.
Yeah.
We keep punishing the devotee or blocking as many devotees of their own advancements. So how are we devotees when we can't even accept an offense that is even less than what we read in the scripture?
We are struggling devotees. We are devotees in the making. We are devotees fighting anarthas. We are Karma Mishra Bhaktas. We are not yet on the Nishta platform. We are doing Bhajana Kriya and we are not yet completely embracing Anartha Nivritti. So when we perform devotional, you're talking about why do devotees who are doing Bhajana Kriya, why do they have all these anarthas? Well, because the Shastra says that the second stage is Anartha Nivritti. Before we get to Nishta and become fixed in our devotional service, there will be all these processes of Anartha Nivritti.
Normally, we should not be saying somebody offended me or you offended somebody. When the person, if you offend me, I shouldn't see the offense because I've not attained Anartha Nivritti. I should wait until I attain Anartha Nivritti to identify when you offend me.
It's up to you. It's a process. It's not a product. And we cannot go from Bhajana Kriya to Nishta overnight. It may take lifetimes, but the choice is ours. But every trigger, every forgiving act that is in front of us is an opportunity. Every time I'm not forgiven, it's an opportunity to humble myself. So this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 3:9-3, it's all about that humility. I mean, even Brahma ran after his own daughter. Even Brahma got completely bewildered. Brahma Vimohana Leela. He thought, who is this little boy? How can he be God? And then he went and kidnapped all the calves and all the boys. Here, Kali Yuga is going to get worse. Okay? I'm saying this also as an astrologer. Things are going to get worse in the world.
Really?
People are gonna do crazy things, wars, crazy political situations, financial crisis, economic crisis, probably another pandemic. Who knows? All this kind of things will happen. Devotees, yes, conflicts. They'll put cases against each other. They may even try to kill each other. All these things. It's Kali Yuga. What do you expect? Like Prabhu Bhakta Hassan was saying earlier, I don't want to come back to this material world.
He will come. He will come. He will come. Don't mind him. Prabhupada said that ISKCON will last for 10,000 years. If everybody go back to Godhead, who will be going and coming to preach Krishna consciousness? Nobody. We all die here.
Prabhu is going to come and preach.
Nobody's going anywhere. We all stay here and preach
Your
ISKCON.
Grace, Krishna, please.
It's up to Krishna. It's up to Krishna. That's the point.
He made a proclamation 10,000 years. So if everybody go now, who will preach this ISKCON? So nobody's going nowhere. Forget all this talk.
It depends on your desire. It depends on what Krishna wants.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Kusha Prabhu is not the supreme personality of Godhead. It's Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very nice class. I think we've all enjoyed this class very much, and the questions coming and the answers are very, very nice. But this question on the platform, I think, is very serious. It's a very serious thing that we have to actually think deep about it. You know, different souls, different individuals are coming into devotional service, and we all come with different level of understanding and desires, and so the goals are different. Someone is willing to go back home in this lifetime, so therefore he's preparing himself towards that, and some are just, you know, following because everybody is following. Let me also follow. We have to have a goal. We have to have a goal, and once we have a goal, then we work towards the goal. And so we have different goals. But here is the case that someone has been offended. You know, I have caused an offense to you, and you taking that offense to heart is going to harm you because you are holding fire. You know, you are holding that fire, and you don't want to let go of that fire. So therefore, you get burned all the time, but you want to hold it. But I have caused you to hold the fire, and I've come to you to beg for forgiveness, like Dhruva Samoni has to run everywhere, different planets, to even Vaikunta, you know, to beg Lord Narayan to forgive him and not to kill him by his Sudarshan chakra. And Sudarshan chakra kept following him, and he has to run everywhere, you know, come down and pay obeisances, beg my devotee. If he forgives, then you'll be fine. And he did that, and he was okay. Ambarish forgave him, and so therefore Sudarshan Chakra left him. Now, the question Akusha Prabhu is asking, that I've come to you for forgiveness, but you have make up your mind that you are not going to forgive. What will be my position? I have talked to myself. I have realized that I've made a mistake, like Dhruva Samoni, and I have come to you for forgiveness, but you are not willing to forgive me. Would Krishna forgive me? What would I do to be able to rectify the situation? So that, because unless you forgive me, because Krishna promised his devotees, and that Krishna loves his devotees, and that's why he told Dhruva Samoni to go. I cannot do anything unless my devotee forgives you. I cannot do anything. But you are not willing to forgive me. So what will be my situation? What will be my position? I've come to you for forgiveness, but you are not willing to forgive me. What will be my position?
So the first position we can take is I am powerless. Krishna is all powerful. I cannot force somebody to forgive me. The first position. Isunichena tarore iva sahishnuna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses the analogy of a blade of grass, we step on it. We just walk over it. That's really like a humble state to be. So the point of asking forgiveness, it needs to be done in the mood of I'm a humble servant, and not in the mood of Rahadev Prabhu, I'm asking you forgiveness. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Can you please say that you forgive me? Can you please say, forgive me? So there's a difference between my mood of approaching and saying, so I'm so sorry, without the expectation of whether the person forgives me, whether whatever. Aslishyava padaratam. I really like this point about don't bow down before anybody, the concept, especially when it comes to the 12th step of recovery. There's this principle, they say that don't be codependent. That's essentially what they say. Don't try to please people. Don't try to kiss somebody's shoes. Don't do that. Do it only in front of God. But you know what? It's much harder to be humble in front of God than to show in front of somebody, I am sorry, please forgive me. It's much hard. Like, external devotional things are easy to put on. Similarly, to truly be regretful, to truly be in that mood of Parikshit or Prahlad. I mean, take Prahlad. He wasn't affected. So nothing happened to him. He was thrown off the cliff. He was trampled by the elephants. He was given poison, but nothing happened to him. So the point was not that Prahlad was trying to what do you say? Get control. So my humble point here in this case scenario is I have had experiences with people that did not want to forgive me. And I had to learn the lesson the hard way. What was the lesson? Krishna is in control. Hare Krishna Rakhike, Rakhe Krishna Mareke. If Krishna wants me to be forgiven, so be it. If Krishna doesn't want me to be forgiven, so be it. I actually heard that today from Nitya Kishore. We were having another meeting and she shared some very, very good examples of that life is not in my control. What to speak of being forgiven? But if I am the one who's supposed to forgive, there is a little bit more of free will in that case. To seek forgiveness, I don't have it. But to forgive, I can pray every single day. Like I had a particular situation for over 2 years. I was struggling to forgive somebody. And I was praying every day, Krishna, please give me the strength to do your will and not mine. I don't want to be in resentment. Please give me the ability. And I recently happened to cross paths with this person who doesn't greet me, doesn't do whatever. Hare Krishna. Krishna's will, not mine, be done. So yes, it's humbling. It can hurt me. It can frustrate me. It can traumatize me. But the truth is, we are insignificant in comparison to Krishna's will, Krishna's plans. Anyway, that's a principle level answer I would give. But again, to look at every situation, we would need to take everything into consideration. We have to take the person that needs to be forgiven. We need to look at the person who needs to forgive. Again, only Yamaraj will know what are the true account details. Just by looking at somebody's car or a watch, I can't know what's their financial situation. Need to truly know what's their bank account balance. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the other person. I may be upset with Sahadev Prabhu. He may be super upset with me. So maybe it has nothing to do with Sahadev. It's my own karma. And Sahadev Prabhu is just an instrument. I am just an instrument. Right? So somebody may be more bothered, somebody may be less bothered, and the less or the more depends on our karma. Like for example, okay, so many gurus fell down. And then those disciples were their disciples, many left. Bye-bye, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They went and they continued their karmic lives. Some other people took another guru. And you know what happened? That guru also fell down. I have very close friends in that situation. That guru also fell down. What did some people do? They took another guru. Okay, my husband had that experience. The first guru he took initiation fell down, and I know many devotees like that. They took that person also fell down. So the point is, some devotees somehow were able to move on, take shelter, advance, go on. Some devotees were not able to. So it also depends. The same guru, the same fall down, the same era, the same thing. Some people took it in a different way. Some people remained traumatized and went back to material life. So we have to also take it into consideration that persons have their own karma. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Oh, yes, but thank you very, very much. Actually, my understanding from your explanation is that we have to be humble enough because to go to somebody and kneel and said, please forgive me, I've offended you. And if it is coming truly from the heart, that is the effort on my part that I have to do.
Yeah.
because it's a big thing to humble yourself to that extent. And then if the person forgive, fine. If he does not, then Krishna know that I've done my part. And so I leave the
Yes.
rest for Krishna to decide in
Yes.
my life.
Because
Okay.
ultimately it's up to Krishna. Krishna can forgive. If I have been sincere and I've been sincere with Krishna, I'm truly apologetic, then you will not suffer so much. But if I'm trying to manipulate the devotee to forgive me and he's not done, then I'm bad mouthing and I'm going around trying to spoil the name of that person because that person is not forgiving me, then that's between me and Krishna. But if I've been honest and sincere and I am regretful, regret is very purifying. I regret this deeply. I regret this. And it's between me and Krishna. Eventually, we will be purified. We will come out of that situation. So, yes, ultimately, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Shivara Prabhu, please see me and you.
Hare Krishna, please assemble all the instances.
Yeah.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to the assembly. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So, just an example came to my mind for Prabhu Govinda's question. What happens if you are not forgiven? What happens to that person who is not forgiven? So I think we have the story of King Virga. King Virga was not forgiven by those brahmanas whom he gave cows when the cows were, mistaken for one another. So he was not forgiven. So what happened to him? So yes, he has to suffer, right? But then because his heart was clean, but then he saw Krishna, and that was the greatest benediction. Yes, one may suffer if it's refused the forgiveness, but if his heart is, as Lord Chaitanya also said, that the suffering of an innocent.
He was citing examples from the scriptures in times where some great devotees did not forgive. They suffered, but because their hearts were clean, they eventually came out in
Yes.
he did not complete and then he got cut off. I think we lost
Yeah, I
him.
think Nriga, he was giving the example of Maharaj Nriga in that case. In consequence, maybe he wasn't that effective. Another example I'm thinking is I really feel so bad for this king, Saudasha. So he was actually innocent, but then somebody, the son, somehow somebody tries to take revenge and they give human flesh and Vasishta comes and then he sees the human flesh and he curses Saudasha and oh my God, the whole thing gets really messy. Then another story also, this boy is trying to protect the cow and then he kills the cow and I think it's at night. He thinks he's killing the tiger, but he kills the cow. And then in the morning, Vasishta curses him. He says, you will be born as a Shudra in your next life. And he was a Kshatriya. And so you know what he does? I love this personality. He just completely dedicates his life and overcomes the curse by becoming so dedicated that he doesn't have an next life. How can you become a Shudra if you don't have an next life? And this is Vasishta, not some ordinary person. So yeah, good examples. If we are sincere, the path of redemption will be given to us based on intentions. Because sometimes narcissistic leaders may look like they're getting away with it, but then at the end, either they are miserable death or they don't have any friends, they don't have peace in the heart. That's what I have seen. Always constant plotting. But when you have made peace with Krishna, yeah, people may hate, yeah, people may criticize, put you in a dark corner, but there's something in you that is Krishna has connected with you. Okay.
Hare Krishna, there is one question in the chat room, if I may take it. This is from Her Grace Gayatri Devi. Hare Krishna, Mother Dandavat Pranams. Thanks so much for this wonderful lecture. Please, my question is that in a situation where the person to forgive will tell you, I've forgiven you, but I cannot forget what you did. Is that a true forgiveness? If someone says, I've forgiven you, but I cannot forget what you did to me, is that a true forgiveness? That's a question.
Depends on the person and depends on Krishna. Sometimes it's a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Mother Gayatri, but I kind of agree with you in the sense that I rarely forgive, because in order to forgive means that you first have to admit that someone offended you. And I rarely take an offense from anybody, no matter what they say or do. I don't know whether it is due to this knowledge of astrology, because everybody is prepackaged differently.
That's a good one.
If
That's a good one.
if I know a particular devotee who has a particular nature and he or she is demonstrating that nature, why should I let that bother me so much? So, but if I feel somebody has done something to me that I did not appreciate and the person even apologizes and I accept it, I won't forget it. And I'm not forgetting it does not mean that I'm still holding on to it, but I won't forget it in the sense that next time around, I have to know from the previous experience how to better relate with this person so the same thing doesn't happen again. So that is what I try to do. But we have Thakur Murari Prabhu stand up. Thakur Murari Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
I just want to say, Sadhguru, that you're lucky. I think that's good karma because you come with the mind that is for you. It may not be everybody's case. Like I don't find it that easy. I have to put conscious efforts to not take it personally. Try to remind myself there's a nature. They have their own struggles. They're not trying to personally. I have to convince more in that way. But as long as we know the ideal, wherever we are, it doesn't matter as long as we are somehow going in the right direction. So in your case, you seem to be now already sattvic enough and naturally in you. So that's lucky, I would say. Yes, go ahead, Thakur Murari.
Hi, Krishna Mataji. Thanks for the presentation. Please accept my humble obeisances. This question, you should forgive but not forget. So this is my understanding. You are forgiving the person of what the person did to you. What you're not forgetting is what effect it had on you at that point in time. So in other words, you said something that one would say messed up my character. I'm not going to forget that what I felt at that time. Yes, because you did. In other words, yes, you did something. I'm forgiving you. However, this is how I felt at the point in time. Forget now is not holding on to, but remind the person, yes, this is how I felt when you did it. So that's how my understanding. Because I heard it some years back. I was saying, if you're forgiving, you're not forgetting. But then I saw sometime but later that yes, you forgive, but you don't forget whatever. In other words, if your character was solid or whatever, you suffered some whatever. Yes, I forgive you, but boy, I really, really messed up my character. Yes, so that's how my understanding forgiving but not forgetting. Yes, so that's mine. In other words, the person don't get off. Yes, I forgive you, but you must remember that, yes. Okay, here going to maybe feel some reaction too, but that's my understanding. Forgiving and forgetting. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Thakur Murari Prabhu. Thakur Murari Prabhu is the peacemaker.
I think you are also a peacemaker.
He always is. Well, thank you so much, Mother. Looking at the time, it's quite late your time. We're very much grateful for your love, your time, your patience, and to all the devotees who are kind of like first-time visitors to this Sangha. We appreciate your Sangha, and we hope to have your association more and more in the near future. Srima Varaha Acharya Prabhu, we lost you. I don't know if you're able to come back, but we got bits of your question, and we thank you all. Shri Radha Govinda Devi. I've been away from Accra for quite a long time, and of course our Lordship is Shri Radha Govinda. So whenever I see you, when I see your name, I think of you. It helps me think of Shri Radha Govinda back home. I miss them sometimes. So
Too. I used to serve them when I was there.
yes, yeah. So, thank you so much. If you may have some concluding words, remarks,
Yes.
you may do.
Hare Krishna, Mother. This is Purnima. I'm new to you.
Hi, Krishna.
Can I? Yeah. Actually, I just want to ask you that if he or she is a real devotee, then I believe that person is definitely is forgiving by nature. Offenses, for conscious offenses, Krishna is not willing to forgive that person. But pure devotee is so pure, like a baby, like because the little toddler don't know about politics, little toddler don't know about envy, jealousy, and anything which because we see in other person, whatever we are seeing in another person faults, we are looking in somebody else. It is actually the fault resides in me, because whenever I really see somebody having some fault, actually find at the end of the day, I find that that fault is still in me. So if the person is forgiving by nature
and we are doing our best to ask, we are asking, like Amrish Maharaj was forgiving by nature, but Krishna wanted him to ask forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj. The action has to be done. The Krishna has to be pleased in, because Amrish Maharaj don't have to do anything about it. But now the thing is, when I'm watching fault in somebody else and somebody is doing wrong to me and I'm not forgiving by nature, not forgetting somebody, this means this is the karma I did to that person or somebody else, which is coming in front of me. Now I'm not able to forgive that person because this karma is stuck with me. If that thing is coming out of my mind, it is coming out of, if I'm not pure, I cannot see somebody pure. If I'm not, my eyes are covered with clouds or fog or something, I cannot see clearly the things. For me, forgiveness and forgetfulness is by nature for a devotee. That person is so pure, like a baby, but Krishna is watching. Krishna is watching how the people are acting with devotees. So we should not judge. We should not judge people by and that the person did this to me and there's going to hell or heaven. They are not going to hell or heaven. We are going to hell or heaven because we're watching fault in the Krishna, because Krishna made them. Krishna, because he is a Krishna. For me, everybody is Krishna, and if I cannot see Krishna in that person, I am not pure, and I'm going to hell or heaven, and I'm not going to Krishna back to Godhead because I'm not pure to serve Krishna. Because anyways, I'm seeing fault in everybody. I'm not able to forgive everybody, and I'm not pure in consciousness. And how can I serve Krishna? And so is this where I'm getting wrong in it?
Yes, conceptually what you're saying. At the same time, there are some leelas. Krishna, the Kumaras and the Jaya and Vijaya that happened. It is described that Krishna kind of wanted that because he wanted to have somebody to fight with. So
Yes, it is. Actually, they said that this is Mahaprabhu Leela going on in the mud. When the people are stuck to the mud, then they are the person who is supposed to be devotee and who go out of the door. Now they're not following the rules, not following the. They're saying finding the faults in the system. They get out of it. They're not the devotee belong to it, because if they're belonging to the system, they will stuck to it. If they keep finding the faults, they don't believe in the system, they will get out of it. Yes.
Yeah, once Giriraj Maharaj said this, Krishna's work is over lifetimes. We only see this person, whatever 10 years of his life, he did this, and we may look at it. For Krishna is like Bharat Maharaj story. There's this lifetime and there's other lifetime. And so Krishna's work is over lifetimes. He's looking at us through lifetimes. So Krishna, it's up to Krishna. My husband has some enemies. So he's always very kind to them. He's always saying nice things. It's hard for me to forgive them for things they do. But I'm always he's like, no, I wish for this person to go back to Godhead. And then I said, are you not really horrible things they did? Don't you think Krishna's going to punish? And he said, I don't know, maybe for Krishna this is nothing. He says he did so many great things. Okay, he did one thing like this and he may be forgiven. He may go back to Godhead. I'm not the one decision maker. We don't know if they may do a lot of whatever harm to what we think is bad. Maybe for Krishna is we don't know. That's the point of this verse today. Even Brahma with 4 heads couldn't figure out Krishna. With our overthinking brain, it's not possible to figure out this Krishna likes this person, Krishna doesn't like this person, Krishna will forgive this person, Krishna will not forgive this person. I don't know. We don't know.
Exactly. We want you to go, but this is, you've cooked nice prasad and we are enjoying it like anything. We don't want to give up. No. Yeah, you see, which is better? This Mataji just said, pure devotee does not see any offense. No, Ambarish did not see any offense, caused by Dhruva Samuni. And the pure devotee does not take offense because he's on a transcendental level. He's beyond the moods of nature. But whether the pure devotee react or not, Krishna will react. Pure devotee did not say anything. Does not mean that you, the offender, will go scot-free, because a pure devotee is fully surrendered to Krishna. So whatever goes to pure devotee goes directly to Krishna. And so which is better? If you see someone is doing something wrong to you, and so let me keep quiet, I'm trying to be a pure devotee. I'm trying to be on the higher level. I will not say anything. I will leave it for Krishna. Don't we think that we're causing more harm to that person? Because if Krishna is to come in, it's a destructive.
Well, my question is, why is it important for you to know which one is worse or better? I mean, I'm not challenging you, okay? It's a hypothetical you. So if you, somebody wants to know which one is better, is the intention of asking that because we want to put ourselves in a superior position and we want to put the other in an inferior position? Or for what purpose is it necessary for me to know whether this is better or that is better?
Yeah, like you said something to me. You've acted in a way that I did not like it. And then I keep mute. I keep mute because I know Krishna will take care. Is it better for me to say, hey, Mata, what you did, this and this and that you said, I didn't like it. For you to draw your attention. You might not even be aware that what you did was wrong. But me keeping mute does not mean that you go scot-free. Is it not better for me to approach and then let you know that what you did was wrong, so that me and you will rectify that mistake, so that that karma, that karmic reaction will not bound me or you, than to just leave it to go?
There's a saying, if the relationship is important, forget the thing. If the thing is more important, forget the relationship. You can't have both. Choose one.
Haribol Mataji. What I felt is if we are able to do Harinam with devotees, because I was not able to see such things before, because I now started with Nitya Kishori Mataji. Because of her, I was able to get a good association with devotees. I'm doing Harinam with him, and because of good Harinam, heart can tell where the things are wrong, where I am wrong. They just show the picture clearly. If the Harinam is pure, our heart gets pure, and we can easily accept the people. Acceptance, how we are accepting the people into our lives, accepting their actions, it is so get easy, because we are now considering that all of them are Krishna's energy. They are Krishna's energy. Whatever Krishna wants, it will happen. If Krishna wants that leaf to get broke, even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, this is the constellation's position. This mango will drop. That much mathematics he knows that. This means astrology, whatever the signs, whatever the actions the people are doing, it is pre-decided. Every action is decided. Nothing can be done without his permission. If nothing is done without his permission, and I am the one who want to serve Krishna, how come my plans are better than Krishna's plan? I want to serve Krishna, and I want him to follow me. I want him to follow my ego. This is my ego which is coming in between me and Krishna for such a long time. But my heart is so impure that I cannot see Krishna in anything. I cannot see Krishna in anybody. And I just keep keeping grudge in myself and keep thinking myself to be superior than others. And I've always been like, I've always living this kind of life. So with the help of little bit Harinam I did, just because of little bit good Harinam, I was able to see that I was at the fault. I was the one who was the cause of misery in my life. Nobody possibly can do any harm to me. Nobody can give me any hurt, any problems to me in my life. Only me, I am the one who is responsible for everything. We should take responsibilities that if anything is happening, anything is coming to me, anything is hurting to me, because I'm not yet pure. I'm not doing good Harinam because I'm not able to see Krishna in anything, everybody. This is the reason I'm facing it. And this is the reason the sansar is davanal. Sansar is fire for us. But as soon as the Guru Kripa comes to me, I'm able to see Krishna. I'm able to accept the things in my life. So yes, what I am felt is that, Madhuri, I'm really sorry that I spoke a lot. My obeisance to you.
You remind me of that verse, no? Truth is happiness and distress. We are running after to feel good. But dukkha, the unhappiness comes of its own accord. So happiness will also come of its own accord. We don't have to chase after. It's already, automatically there. Happiness, distress. You don't have to worry who will forgive me. We just go for what's the verse? It says yes. Prayateta kovido. So if you want to be intelligent, if you want to be philosophical, then go beyond Sukha and dukkha tallabhyate. Don't go up and down from this world and try to find it beyond that. That's it. Going beyond is Harinam. That's it. That's this conclusion of this Bhagavatam verse. Do Harinam Sankirtan. Do devotional service. That's the only way. We have no other way. No other way.
Thank you so much, mothers. Thank you, all the devotees. Grace Purnima Devi, thank you so much. Full moon. you made today a full moon. Thank you for your association. Your contributions are very, very beautiful.
Whatever action we perform in the course of our devotional life, Krishna looks at the intent, and the intent is always like supersedes everything. So if that is true, then when someone thinks another person has offended him, does Krishna not look at the intent of that, or because this video that has been trending on TikTok, and this little girl, she had 2 apples in the hand, and the father asked her for one, and she bit on both of them. She bit on both apples, but the father was so upset. You are having 2 apples, and I asked you to give me one. Why are you biting on both of them? Now, later on, the father asked the child, why did you bite on both of them? And she said, because I wanted to know the one that is sweeter. I wanted to give you the best. So I bit on them to find out which is the best. You get a point?
Yeah.
Because initially the father didn't know the intent of the girl. The father felt offended. But later on, when he came to realize that the girl wanted to give the best to him, that is the reason why she bit on both of them, to find out which is the best. So this question of I have offended, this one has offended me on this, does Krishna not look at the intent of the person?
This is a very philosophical question. So the answer to this question is, in short, okay, I'm going to give a short answer to this one. Sees the intent if the intent is good. Krishna sees the action if the action is good. The example is Putana. Her intent was very evil. She wanted to poison Krishna. That was the intent. But her action was she was blessing Krishna. So what did Krishna do? He took her action and he gave her a position of a nurse in the spiritual world. Whereas in the case of Vidura's wife, she gave him the peels of the banana instead of the banana, and she threw away the banana. So her intention was love, but her action was banana peel. So what did Krishna take? He took the intention. So Krishna is not like human beings. Takes intention if the intention is right and forgives the action if it's wrong. And he takes the action if the action is right and forgives the intent. That is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So in this verse, it is said, the pranam spoken by Bhishma Dev when he was lying down in the battlefield on the bed of arrows. So Krishna, his eyes are always open to catch you doing right. Always. Nimisho animisha. So his eyes are like fish eyes. It doesn't have eyelids. So the fish never closes its eyes. No, it never closes its eyes. It's always open. That's Jagannath. So Jagannath is always looking at the devotees doing right. He catches you when you're doing right. That's Jagannath. And then there is a form of Krishna who is Balaji. He has his eyes closed. Why? Nimisho animisha. He's always having his eyes closed. He's having his eyes closed to the faults of the devotees. And it is even said that Krishna wears a garland of faults of the devotees to his neck. Sahasrajit saptajihva sapteda saptavahana. He even has, he has 1,000 eyes, by the way. So with all the 1,000 eyes, he will only focus on, if your intent is correct, he'll focus on your intent. If your action is correct, he'll focus on the action. If intent and action both are wrong, he'll give you another chance. If intention and action both are right, he's very pleased. So this is Krishna. This is a very nice lecture by Radhika Raman Prabhu. Maybe, okay, after the class is over and this class is uploaded on YouTube, I will put the link to that class. There are 2 series of videos about forgiveness and Krishna. What is his philosophy of forgiveness according to the Goswamis? Very highly recommend that class. You listen to that class. It gives you the whole picture of Krishna's justice. By the way, this verse that I quoted, it says that Nyayo Netha Samiranaha. Nyaya means justice. So the way Krishna does justice, it's far out. It's completely different dimension. So he doesn't like we do. If my intention is correct, I want other people to look at my intention. If my actions are correct, I want people to look at my action. But Krishna is not like that. So this is a very philosophical question. I am glad you asked that question. I highly recommend you listen to that class when I will post it in the thing. It's a very nice class. Radhikaraman Prabhu is a scholar. He teaches in Harvard, I think, I'm not sure, but like, one of those top universities. And yeah, he's a prodigy, is very, very knowledgeable, very nice class about this topic. So if you want to understand how Krishna works, listen to that lecture. Okay.
I think half of his answer is given, but the other part did not come. You have a good intent, but the person that you're working with may see you in a dark mood. So he get offended by your action, even though you may have a good intention. Why would you carry karma? If Krishna sees the good intent, and that person get offended, why do I have to get a reaction by that person's being offended by my actions? Because my action has a good intent and Krishna is aware of my intention.
Because Krishna consciousness is not about you. Krishna consciousness is about Krishna. So it's not about I'm doing all the right things, why Krishna is not appearing, I'm doing everything right, why I'm not forgiven. Krishna consciousness is not about like a productivity-based, action-based thing. I'm doing sadhana bhakti, I'm doing this and everything, why I'm not getting prema bhakti. Prema bhakti is causeless. Krishna gives it only when he wants, to who he wants. Similarly, the mercy of the Lord, the forgiveness of the Lord is given to those that the Lord wants to give. It cannot be gotten. It is given. It's like love, even human beings, right? You can't force someone to love you, force someone to forgive you, whether they hold a grudge or not. In one sense, it's their problem. But on another side, who says that I should be forgiven? Who says? Me. My mind says. What Purnima was saying earlier. Aham mameti. Me, my plans. That's the problem. So that's my problem. Anatho pasamam sakshad. That's my problem. So Vyasadeva is giving us the Chakriya Sattata Samhitam, this Bhagavatam, which we can take shelter of. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I do want to say one last point.
Right.
Very important point. The most important point of everything today's class. I am so appreciative of this group of devotees, African devotees, with all your experiences. You know each other, you know the story. But I love this humility, the eagerness, how you come together in these classes. You ask questions, and the mood is so humble. The mood is so open. Really, I have always felt like that family, like I feel half African. Really, like that mood is very good, very humble, very open. So the point is, at the end of all this, it doesn't really matter all the details. All that matters is somehow or another we come together, somehow or another we chant Krishna's names. There are situations like Brihaspati and Chandra, okay? They don't like each other. They're enemies. One kidnapped the wife. Chandra kidnapped Brihaspati's wife, Tara, and there was a whole war. And he impregnated her, and Buddha was born. All ninth canto bottleneck chapters. And then Brihaspati again takes, I think Mamata, I forget her name. He takes her, and there's a whole rape story and everything. You just go crazy trying to understand what is going on. But at the end of all the conclusion, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna gives us another chance, the second chance to correct ourselves. So we are Krishna's devotees. We take shelter of Krishna. And I really, really appreciate this Sangha. I always feel enthusiastic to come to our African classes. And I'm also grateful to all our Vaishnavis, Indian-bodied Vaishnavis who also joined. I'm very grateful for your contributions, your presence.
One more thing, just little bit. I want to just say, Prabhuji was saying that how Krishna is responding and love. If we are able to say Hare Krishna, if you're able to read Bhagavatam, if you're able to be a Gurudev Vaishnavas association, this is Krishna's mercy. We are got a human body. This is Krishna's mercy. So millions of people are not able to heard about Krishna. We are able to hear about Krishna. This is Krishna's love. We should feel it actually. Love is not to be visible. It should not be visible by some miracle. We need to feel it like love is to be felt, not to be like give some proof or something. Yeah, we need to be grateful. Yeah.
Grateful. Thank you. That's so true. Yeah, I am very grateful to your Sangha, your questions, your humility, your openness. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, thank you. We are equally so grateful to have your association at least once in a month. It's very, very special, always having the association. And to Purnima Devi's last remark, Margaret Davis used to tell us that love is not a noun, it is a verb. So there must be an action. We cannot sit somewhere and cry, I love you, I love you, I love you, and do nothing. So thank you so much for sharing. And we're going to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute. Can we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, Her Grace Sri Radha Govinda Devi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Panchakapatapya Gurudasa Vivacha Kirtana Pavanavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha.
Jai
Radha Govinda Mata Ji ki jai.
Jai.
Jai.